back, season 3, the Brandee J.
Yes,
and
Kristy Salazar. Damn, I
so-
think I know my name. I'm in Vegas, but I think I remember.
I'm a little bit tipsy.
Oh, wow. She put the disclosure out there. So you know you're in for a ride today when she's saying she's a little tipsy. But we're in Vegas, so do like Vegas does, right?
Well, I love Vegas.
Yes.
It is one of my favorite cities besides New Orleans and New
What is
York.
it about Vegas that you love so much?
The alter
Keep
ego
it
comes
PG.
out. What are you talking about? Keep it PG. I keep everything PG. I'm lying.
Yeah.
But it's like the alter ego comes out, and then you're not on no set schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You're just in the city doing your own thing, and you can drink everywhere.
What's the name of your alter ego?
Sasha?
I'm Sarai.
Yeah.
So what happens when Sarai crosses state line?
Yeah,
It's
different-
Sarai. It's not Kristy.
Yeah, it's a different story. So, but we've been having a great time.
Yes.
We are shooting at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas. They hooked us up.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Lots
you
of
guys.
love to Hard Rock
Yes.
because they've been not only in Vegas but in
San Diego. The whole brand has
So
embraced
the franchise is
everything.
amazing. Thank you.
And they catered
Yep.
our talk show. So thank you to
Yep.
Lucky's Restaurant in the Hard
Mr.
Rock
Lucky,
Hotel. Mr. Lucky.
we have an amazing spread in here.
Yeah.
All the necessities.
Mimosas going.
Yes.
So you know we're in Vegas, so we're going to talk about
Controversy?
sex.
Of course. How can we do a season without talking about sex?
We didn't last season. We didn't do the sex episode.
I think we did.
No, we didn't.
That means we're coming back bigger and bolder.
Yes.
So anything, I mean, people are having sex. It's just a natural part of life.
It's
if
a
you're
natural-
not having sex, I'm
Yeah.
sorry for you.
It's a natural part.
But I mean, I think that it's a natural part of but I think self-expression and learning to be very aware of yourself sexually
Yeah.
is a big thing that people struggle with.
Well, I think because women are not made to. They want us to be sexual creatures, but they want us to be sexual creatures like on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, be quiet about it.
Be quiet about it, but sorry.
Again, you're getting the raw real us this weekend, so.
I was about to choke. But
You're getting all choked up talking about sex?
I love sex.
Oh, my.
But as women, we need to show other women that it's okay to be in tune with your sexuality.
Yes.
Because some men think they know what they're doing and they don't, or some women, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But
Whatever
it's
your
like,
preferences.
you have to know what you want and what you like, so your partner, whoever you're having sex with, knows what you like and what you want. And I think as people, we don't like to have those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to have those conversations.
I think the key part to having a really good, to being able to have a healthy sex life is being confident in your own sexuality.
Yes.
And knowing who you are, what works for you, what doesn't work for
Yeah.
you. Because when you take that power back, you don't feel like you're doing anything for anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're in tune with yourself and what makes you feel good, and it makes for a better relationship.
And like I was like telling her before we started filming, I was telling her, I guess like I was watching porn at 10.
Wow, that's really young.
Because to me it was entertaining.
Was it because it was like educational for you?
Entertaining and educational. Like me and my cousin, not gonna say which one because she'll get me. Like we will like watch it. We were like, wow, that's and it's just like, but it made me like see it in a different way, just not something to be ashamed of. Something like, okay, this is what this is what we're here to
People
do. Created to do. So
do you think that it sparked a curiosity early on for you that maybe you would have came later had you not been engaging in that at 10? Do you think that like played a role in how your sexuality came out?
I think it did.
Or how you expressed yourself?
I mean, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 15.
Okay.
So, and I was with a person for like, when you're a teenager, 8 months is a long time. But it made me aware of who I was. And once you know who you are sexually, it's like a confidence that comes out. It's like
empowering.
It's empowering. So for me, it's something that I looked at it educational. And my cousin, same cousin I was watching porn with, like she taught me a lot about sex. Like I remember I think I was 14 and 15, and we got a cucumber. She
Oh my!
put on a condom.
She said the cucumber.
She's like, "This is how." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's how."
So
you
you guys
do it."
educated yourselves.
We educated ourselves, and then she was like, "This is what you do. This is how you do it, and everything like that." But it was like something that I'm happy she did because I understood it, but I knew the importance of when you're having sex, be safe, and also the learning of pleasing the person you're with and them pleasing you. And then when I became sexually active, I had that open dialogue with my mother.
See, that's a big difference because being a parent, you have to have those open dialogues. I came from a family where we didn't talk about sex. In fact, my mother signed, love you mom, but you signed a form to take me out of sex ed because you didn't want me to be exposed to sex ed. And then I turn around and by 18 I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you didn't, you felt like you were going to control that. And in your controlling that,
it makes you more curious.
Exactly. So it's like, I think that parents need to be proactive.
Yeah.
And like with the boys now, we talk to them about sex and have that open dialogue, because when you do that, not only do you grow up to be able to be sexually aware, you're also more protective of yourself.
Yep.
And I think a lot of parents, they get confused with that. And
then
just
you don't marry the first person you have sex with, because that person could be whack.
She said that could be whack.
I mean, I see it. I've seen it with friends. I see it all the time. I'm just like, you need to know what you like and what you don't like. And I don't look down on people who have multiple sex partners. To me, I just don't believe in judging.
Teach its own.
It's teach its own. So it's just like, but when you're young, you really don't know what you like and what you do like. And
you get older and you evolve in your sexuality.
Yes. And so you know what you like, you know what you don't like. And it's just like just becoming into who you are, a man or woman.
So we're excited because, again, we're going to talk about all this and more because, again, we want to have the conversations that no one is having. And this is a really big one. So, and it's just sex. We should be able to talk about it.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't like to. They look down on it, but everyone's having it.
Yeah, but no one wants to talk about it.
No one wants to talk about it. And then when you do want to talk about it, they're just like, how can you talk about it? That's not ladylike. No, it's being mature within yourself and just saying, this is what I like and this is what I don't like.
Exactly. And being able to have that feeling of empowerment, of taking, again, I go back to that power thing, is taking back your power of your sexuality and being able to own it and own it outright and not feeling ashamed of it.
Well,
and not
how old
feeling
were
embarrassed.
you last year, virginity?
I was 18. Yeah, I was about to be 18. So, but again, it was like, for me, it was, I just kind of, no one told me nothing.
Yeah.
I had to figure out everything by myself, and that was really hard, So I think that if anything, parents, all I can do is tell you is,
have that conversation.
Have the talk. I know it may seem awkward to a lot of you because no one had it with you, but when you have that conversation, you open up the lines of communication, and then they feel like they can tell you things. Yeah. And that's what is the difference between...
It's very important because I was able to come to my mom and say certain things and to have those discussions and to be like, okay, and I'm, even now as a grown woman, I still have those conversations with my mom.
Which is amazing.
Because it's just like, she's a woman, I'm a woman. It's just like having those conversations and just being like, okay, we can connect on a whole nother level. And, I have those conversations with my daughter. She's not sexually active, but I tell her, you can come to me. Yeah. I tell her things and things because I want to educate her and not just be like, oh, you shouldn't talk about that.
Exactly. And I think that's the difference is when you kind of shy things into a closet, they come back later on. Yeah. And they come back because they're repressed.
With the force.
They come back with a vengeance.
Yes, with vengeance.
Because they're like, they're like repressed. So then all of a sudden the gates are open and it's a free-for-all. I mean, it's serious, So it's like if you do it with moderation and with education, then you can actually have a healthy sexual, future.
Yeah, because I tell my kids, don't rush to make me no grandma.
That's right. I say it all the time. I'm like, look, if you really want me to be a grandma, wait till I'm ready. Because right now I'm not ready.
So I'm not babysitting nobody.
I'm not
Mama got a life. I got things to do. Go get your great grandma. But not me, but like I tell my kids, it's just like, Jada's 15 and Quentin's 6, so it's just, we got a long time with Quentin. But with Jada's, it's like, enjoy who you are, find out who you are sexually, and then educate yourself and embrace it. And then when you have questions, come to me and talk to me about it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the lines between partners, between parents and children, there should be no line there. You should be able to discuss things because what happens is people hold all that in and then they go and they try to get educated on their own.
Or they end up cheating.
There you go.
They end up cheating because they feel like they can't talk to their mate. And I, like I was telling our guest earlier, I said, if you can't talk to your significant other, whoever you're with, about sex and what you like, then that person, you shouldn't be.
And if you can't come to a healthy compromise, like if there's something that you're into but the other person is not into, there should be a compromise.
Exactly.
Where you guys both value the relationship and say, okay, well maybe, but you're able to explore that. And when you're with the right person, you can do that because you feel confident that it's reciprocated. So again, we're giving you all that and more. Season 3, Brandee J.
Kristy Salazar Talk Show. We'll be back.
Vegas Turn Up. Bye. We're back. It's Vegas. You gotta switch it up.
Switch it up how?
Well,
you ain't gonna switch on to go to the other team.
Whatever way works. It's Vegas.
Yes.
No, we're excited. We're here in Vegas, and again, season 3, and we have the beautiful, talented Domichnee.
Yes, she is one of my Lux Beauties.
Not to mention gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Yes.
She contacted me when I first started the magazine, and then sent me her pictures. Like, oh my god! And then she's been in our Lux Beauty campaign. Mm-hmm. She'll be on one of our makes. She's going to be on our cover model for the May issue.
And she's brave enough to come on our sex episode.
Yes. Exactly.
So, that right there says it all.
I got that. Why are you flexing? She's flexing.
Look, let me
She's flexing.
Oh, see, she got guns.
Look, she's gonna.
Don't get. There you go. See? She's capturing her inner Xena. Her Xena warrior is coming out right now.
That's the model.
That's her alter ego for Vegas.
Exactly.
But you're from Vegas.
I am.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Domichnee.
Okay.
I don't have to tell my age, right?
No.
Okay.
Because age ain't nothing but a number.
I'm like, is this like a dating? Like a, I'm Domichnee.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
3 kids. But no, I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. My mom moved us out here when I was about 5. So I tell people that I'm from Vegas.
Yeah, you've been out here.
People like, you can't rep LA.
Yeah. You're in Vegas.
So yeah, I got into modeling a couple of years ago, reached out to Brandee, and from there, my modeling career has skyrocketed. So nice. I'm so thankful for you. So thank you.
Welcome.
You're awesome.
See, I do, people contact me, I help them, and things happen.
It's all about the networking.
That's right. And really knowing who to network with.
Yeah.
Because you can't network with everybody.
Okay, we're not talking about networking. We're talking about sex.
We know that, but we're just saying it's all connecting.
Well, networking
is sex.
They're connected.
Okay, because you have to communicate. If I'm not communicating with you, then sexually, we obviously are not going to be on the same page. So it's networking. I got to network with you.
No, that's communicating. That's not networking.
It's networking.
That is no.
It's
networking.
No.
Threesome, networking. You
your
friend to get with my friend, and we can be friends.
You see why she's here?
Have you had a threesome?
I have not. I have not. When I was younger, that was something that I really did want to do. You're in Vegas. You should be having, fun.
Because you're in Sin City?
Sin City. Yeah. But no, that's something that I've thought about,
How do you feel when it comes to your sexuality? Do you feel like, I think that we're in an age now where women are very empowered sexually. There's no longer that box of stigma.
Well, I still think there is a box.
Well, there is, but I'm saying it's becoming more acceptable. Women stepping in to own their sexual power.
Yeah.
Very much so. I mean, if you look at things that have taken place, like for instance with Amber Rose, there's people that have set the tone for women embracing their sexuality and being able to be on the forefront of that. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel like when it comes to your sexuality and who you are as a sexual being, like where's your comfort level with that?
I've always been confident as far as who I am, what I want. I came out to my family when I was 17. Okay. So for them it was a big shock because I had B2K all on my, all on my doors.
They didn't see it coming.
They were like,
what?
Are you sure? Like maybe you were turned out, but I don't really like the term, you're turned out because I feel like you've had some type of curiosity. Mm-hmm. Somebody may have just helped you along the way.
But someone opened Pandora's box, but then once Pandora's box was open, it was
like,
but you knew what you wanted, what you were attracted to.
Absolutely.
And you just said, this is who I am.
This is just who I am. I feel like life is too short to live for somebody else. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people do live for somebody else. There's a lot of people that are down low, and they never come out to their family.
Because they're afraid to lose.
Because they're afraid to lose their family, their
jobs.
Their jobs. If they're in a church, then you lose, people in the church. And then, you start questioning your faith. So I feel like a lot of people, keep that buried, so to speak.
It's like we're oppressed.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So for me, I've just always been that free spirit when it comes to my sexuality. Like, this
so
is
have you had sex with a man before?
I have.
And did you like it?
It wasn't that I didn't like it. It was more of the sexual attraction to a woman compared to a man. So not saying that he didn't do what he was supposed to, but that connection with a woman to me is just so much more powerful.
Because I think it's more of an emotional level, an intimate level. A woman knows another woman. Right. So I think a lot of times that's what makes it such an emotional connection is because a woman knows what another woman wants.
So you're saying men don't know what women want sexually?
No, not all. I think there's some, but I think a lot of men, they're so focused on themselves that they're not in touch with their partner. So it's kind of like, okay, as long as I get mine, I'm good.
Or even,
you know?
Or not even just the man. It could be the woman
Oh,
too,
course.
where it's just like, you know what? I know what I want, and I want you to already know without us having that conversation.
Like, read my mind.
Yeah, with
Reading
men,
my
you
mind.
have to tell them, like, because some of them, they just think they got it, and they don't. And I've told some people, I'm like, no, that was whack. Like,
you gotta be real.
And
it's usually the cocky ones that walk around.
Yeah, I was like, that didn't do anything for me, so this is not going to happen again.
Anybody for me that is a lot of talk in anything is like, because if you're already good at what you do, you don't have to advertise yourself.
True.
It's gonna just flow organically, where it's like, oh, okay, well, you didn't tell me you know how to do that.
That's like, you know, me saying, hey, I'm good at head, everybody, but I don't do that.
Exactly.
Even though I'm the bomb at it, but still.
Hey, you
But you don't throw it out there.
Right.
No.
I think there's a difference
between
being able to own your sexuality but not exploiting it. And I think a lot of times there's a fine line. People think because I own my sexuality, it means me exploiting it.
Like I'm a slut or I'm a hoe or something like that.
No, it means that you own your sexuality within yourself, within the partner that you're with, but you don't have to exploit it and make a big production or scene of it.
Right.
You know, it can be done the same way I feel like labels. Like, why label yourself? Like, labels are made for clothes. They're made, you know, closets are made for clothes. Labels are made for clothes. They're not made for people.
Right.
And sexuality is such a fluid thing. You know, it's kind of like, so I think that a lot of times people put that limitation on themselves because they're like, I'm this. And it's like, no, we are created as sexual beings. Right. You know, so energy drives us.
It comes natural for us. It's already in our DNA. Right.
Yep.
And I just think a lot of people try to suppress it, and then they just go crazy. Like I said, you know, I'm happy I had that relationship with my mother that I can talk to her and talk, you know, and be open with her and, you know, and just explore my sexuality and know what I like and what I don't like. And I think everyone needs to do that. So they do know what they like. If you don't like women or you don't like men, whatever, but you need to figure that out for yourself and not someone tell you what you like and what you don't.
What do you think about like people who have, like, say you have mismatched sex drives? You know, say you're in a relationship and one person is a little bit more highly sexual than the other. How do you, how do you come to a happy medium with that?
It's not gonna work.
I feel like with your mate though, you guys have to find that balance though, you know, because before sexually, there has to be a mental connection.
Exactly.
So I feel like if you have that mental connection, if you're like, hey, you know what, I'm into threesomes, and your mate's like, I'm not really into that. Okay, well,
you've been
what
saying
can we
this threesome thing a lot.
You know,
I mean,
maybe because it's just Vegas. Maybe I'm
it
feeling
brings out
Vegas.
that forbidden taboo. Yeah.
Like Brandee put me out. Maybe.
I'm just saying, it's like she
wait a
keeps saying
second. She was
it.
like threesome.
I think it takes a lot. I think it takes a lot when you have that type of there's a difference there because it requires more communication.
Right.
Because one could feel like, okay, well, I'm being rejected or I'm not wanted. So I think it has to be a happy medium. Yeah. Because, you have to, if you are engaging in a relationship, you obviously are committing to be able to be that person, the one that person goes to. Right. And if you're not accessible to that person or you're making it where it's not like a welcome thing, it's going to build resentment and bitterness because that person's going to take it internally. We're human beings. We want to be accepted. We want to be wanted. We want to feel wanted.
And then they're going to go seek it somewhere else.
And that's where I think a lot of people get it wrong. Because they're not communicating and saying, hey, this is what I need. Right. Are we on the same page? Because if we're not, okay, we need to discuss that and see, can we go further? Right.
And not have it so, like, to your ego. Like, you have to be humble enough and be in tune to yourself. Okay, they're not coming for me. They're just we're trying to talk it out. But I do feel like, men and women, sometimes if you have that conversation, they, it affects their ego. Like, remove that from it and listen to what I'm trying to say to better our relationship.
I think you can't have I think if there's so much ego, you can't have a really good sexual relationship because it's about giving. It's supposed to be about giving and being able to, give and take. It's reciprocated. And if you have that ego and you're going into it with that ego, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Yeah. Because it's all about me. Whenever you go into something saying it's all about me, you're already coming out like a loser.
I also think, too, when you're in a relationship with someone or you're dating someone, that's something that needs to be brought up in the beginning. Yes. Not
very
already
key point.
Not 2-3 months down the road where you're like, oh, I wish I would have known this in the beginning.
I just wasted 2 to 3 months.
You have to be bold and say, okay, well, what do you like in the bedroom?
Yes.
What are things that interest you? So then at that point for yourself, you can say, you know what?
This doesn't work for me.
This may be a little too much for me, but,
Or not enough for me.
Or not enough for me.
And I think that if you have that gauge, then you're able to look at it from the beginning and make a conscious decision instead of waiting years in and saying, oh my, We are totally opposite. What I'm into, you're not into, and now we have a problem because we've invested time in a relationship.
It's going to affect the relationship. Like,
it will.
Not having a healthy sexual relationship, it's going to.
That's very important.
The relationship. And some people's like, oh, sex is not important. Yes,
it is. It helps with stress.
Hello, it's the best stress reliever. If you want to walk around grumpy,
going into work, hey guys.
Yeah.
It's like, everybody always says, oh,
she ain't getting none.
He ain't getting that right, girl.
Exactly.
But you hear a lot too. Women are in relationships for years and they say, you know what, sexually I'm not pleased.
Yep.
And I feel like women need to stick up, you know, and say,
and
you know what, for their mate, like, hey, you know, these are things that I like. Or maybe they need to watch some stuff and maybe they can get some ideas because some people aren't raised as far as, you know, maybe their parents or, you know, they may have always been raised in that taboo era.
Like don't watch porn, don't do that. But
where they may not know their own body.
Or how were your parents when it came to your sexuality? Were they very like open and communicating with, or was it more like, shh, let's not talk about that?
No, I was brought up in a single parent home. So my mother had my oldest sister at 16. So my mom was very fluent with us as far as talking about sex and diseases and, you know, HIV, AIDS, and how to protect yourself and birth control. My mom was a huge advocate because she was a teen mom. And my grandmother,
proactive because of it.
Exactly. And my grandmother was the taboo one that never talked about it. So my mom was always that one, like, I need to educate you guys. So you guys aren't 16, 17 years old, pregnant, you know. So my mom she was very proactive. And out of all four of us, we didn't have any kids in high school. Three of us
because
ended
she
up
was
getting
proactive.
our degree.
Yeah.
So people would say, like, wow, you really beat the odds. And it was like, you know, it's not really
about
the
beating
odds.
The odds. It's being that parent and educating yourself and realizing that, you know, that's why I tell people, I said, even though like my dad really didn't talk about it, but my mom did. Yeah. And it's like when she did, it's like, okay, it's like the focus is education in school and doing what we have to do, and everything else came second. So
I'm not gonna lie, I was the one in the library, like, I gotta go to the sexual education section. I gotta read all the sex ed books because no one is telling me anything. So I had to really teach myself. And then when you're going in, I mean, I can clearly remember going into a library and I'm trying to figure myself out. Yeah. And I'm kind of like, no one's telling me, and this is guy, girl, whatever, no one is telling me anything. So I'm having to be that person so I can really put myself in the shoes of like a young person whose parents are telling them, oh, you need to know nothing. Yes, you do need to know something. Yeah. Because I was a grown-up seeking in a public library some type of information to figure myself out. That someone should have been telling me. That someone should have sat me down and told me, hey, point A, point B, point C. You know, and not only just having this conversation once, but throughout your teenage years, reiterating it so that you have a really healthy sense of sexuality. Because when you don't do that, you repress it in a person. And then they're wondering, am I what I'm feeling normal? Is it not normal? And they're so confused. And then
they're going to seek out their friends, people who really don't know, who are going to hype it up.
And there's always Google.
And well, back then, it wasn't. So it's like having your friends to tell you, oh, this is what you should be doing and not should be doing. They don't know. They're young themselves. So you have to, there needs to be that adult to say, okay, this is what needs to happen and things like that. But we're going to take a quick break.
Because we're just getting started.
Yes. So we'll be right back. The Brandee J and Kristy Stars, our talk show, Las Vegas, sex episode.
Be back.
We are back, Las Vegas, Brandee J and Kristy Stars, our talk show.
I don't think I know my name in this season.
I can't deal with her.
Anyways, we're talking about sex. Let's talk about sex.
I love it.
Right? We've been having an amazing, Salt and Pepper said best. We've been having an amazing time talking, an open conversation about, I mean, just sex. It's just sex.
Open dialogue.
Just open dialogue. And I think if more people do that, they're able to communicate. You're able to learn from other people's experiences.
Be more fluent with yourself. What you like, what you don't like.
Do you think there's a thing of too much sex?
No.
I know.
No.
Look, I was like,
no.
Like, we turned down.
No. What's that? No. I think there can be enough. I mean, think about it. The the whole thing behind sex is it releases those nice positive endorphins.
Yes.
That oxytocin, like everything
just
that bonding
goes.
chemical, like everything is good. So why would you not want to live your life walking on that cloud nine?
Right. Especially when it's with someone you love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's different when you're
Not just tolerate.
but you know, when you love somebody,
it's
it's different. It's not just like, hey, I'm just gonna go have sex. It's like, hey, we're about to have some sex. It's like, okay.
I really wanted to
tell
say
my
something,
friends,
but I was like, I don't think what I'm thinking I should say.
Look,
but because I'll be good.
She'll be good on this one. But I think that everyone needs to be able to have that approach to just being able to own their sexuality. So I want to commend you on that.
I think you need to put it up there. Like, I know when I was I'm back in the dating scene, whatever. I tell them, like, I enjoy sex. I'm that chick. I need it at least every day. If I don't get it, I'm a bitch. So if you can't keep up, this is not going to work.
And that's what I was saying at the beginning.
Yeah,
you let people know
gotta
that.
let them know.
You hit the nail on the head.
You have to let people know that, because then if they don't know, then they end up in a situation like, whoa, I didn't know
like this girl is a fiend. Yeah, come on.
I think that needs to be communicated,
2 weeks.
like you said, at the beginning of the dating.
Yep.
Like when you are looking at dating someone or being exclusive with someone, you have those conversations. They might seem awkward, but then you know what page you're working on.
Right.
Then you know, okay, are we sexually compatible? Right. Are we going to be okay? You know, and if not, you're going to find that out years later, and you're wondering what's up with this person, and they're just like, we knew from the get-go.
Right.
You know?
2 years later, 2 kids in, and you're like, man, I feel stuck.
Yep.
You know,
no,
like,
you just get out like I did in first marriage.
Yeah, you can do that, but some people don't have that strength and power to do that.
Because he was whack.
So just say it from the beginning. I think if you just communicate it from the beginning. No, she didn't.
Yes.
I think
my first husband, you were whack in bed. I told you that plenty of times. It was too little. It was just, yeah.
And that's the uncut version. Because in Vegas, it's like Vegas is like truth serum. Everything comes out.
Everything.
So, but I mean, what's said is said, what's done is done.
What he gonna do? Nothing.
You gotta be real with yourself.
I know your girlfriend don't. She ain't gonna tell you, but it's small.
Oh my. With that, communication is key.
Communication is key.
Communication is key, and really
It was like having sex with air. Where is it? Like, I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Again, communication is key. Respecting your partner is another key.
Respecting your partner.
And also,
I don't respect him, so it doesn't matter.
There you go. That's that was it right there.
It was
a learning experience. You learned from it. You learned about yourself. You learned what doesn't work for you.
And what does work for you.
And what does work for you.
And what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate.
And then you move on.
Yeah, because if it's like I'm doing air, I can't.
It's like you wish everyone the best and you move on. But
why are you trying to rush me? Like,
I'm not trying to rush you.
Were you just trying to rush me because of what? This is too much uncut. This is too much real. Like, this is reality. Women need to have this discussion. If your dude is whack, tell him this is whack. Your shit is small. I can't deal with this. It's like doing air. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And if he got a problem, you know my number. But I did block you. But you know my number. You got my mama's number. Well, I mean, what you gonna do? Nothing. He was whacking out to the net. That's why I left his. Okay. Anyways.
So where can we? I know you are. Again, because you're here and we're talking about such a sensitive topic. I commend you for being here because this is our wildest.
See, she's shocked because she doesn't see this Brandee.
Right. That's what I'm like.
She does never.
Look, I just smile.
This is Vegas turn of
Brandee's
Brandee.
Always.
Yes.
Today, Brandee's like this is
raw, Sasha right now,
and this is uncut.
She never sees
Vegas. Sasha.
I'm like, hey, but everybody has their other side, so you have to
let everyone know where they can find you.
Instagram, Domichnee, pronounced Shanae, DOMICHNEE, and Facebook, Instagram, Miss Domi Diva, and that's pretty much.
I gotta say that name is so sexy. I just love the way it just rolls off the tongue.
Domi?
Yeah, Domichnee. It's like,
Domichnee.
yeah, like I mean business, but don't get it twisted. It's kind of like I mean business, but don't get it twisted. I'm still femme. Yeah. Like I'm empowered. I own my name, but I'm still a girl.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
for everything. Thank you always for supporting. And we'll be right back.
That's right. Talk about sex. back.
Las Vegas sex episode season 3.
Brandee J.
Well, I think I know my name.
Well, you were saying it, so I just had to step in.
I just don't know what's going on with us. I don't think, I don't know if it's the liquor. I don't know if it's Vegas.
I'm sober, so I don't know.
But she's been kind of aggressive.
Oh, but she likes my aggressive side. Anyways, we're here and we're in Vegas and we're talking about sex. That's right, we said it because we wanted to get a female and male perspective. Because I think.
And sometimes we gotta school you guys, because you guys sometimes need help.
Or we can school y'all too.
So are we giving like a 101? I think a lot of times, I think there's a breakdown of communication between men and women. I think a lot of times there's like that lack of.
But we have to introduce our guests.
Exactly. Go ahead.
So I'm introducing.
Yeah.
No, you do it.
Go ahead.
You do it.
We got Nino, Califonya here. The talented, amazing. I mean. Of course, everything. Representing for men here.
And we got Andrew, AP, his manager. So they're, dynamic duo,
Team.
I call them my other husbands.
And they let us pick their brains. So
she got 2.
I got 2. I'll be so mad and text, God damn it.
But we wanted to pick the brains of, again, because male
real
and female
men
see things different.
Who are honest and who don't sugarcoat.
Right. And are brave enough to come on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because his Instagram be cracking me up. I'll be like, this is so funny.
I just got to keep it real. You know what I mean?
So, do you guys feel like, what are your guys' views about sex? As far as just, do you really think a man knows a woman's body? Do you guys take the time to know a woman's body?
I think it depends on the individual. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I agree. I believe I do. You know what I mean? I don't know about everybody else.
Right. Has a woman ever said to you, like, that was whack?
I get pretty good compliments.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into it, but I get pretty good compliments.
He's like, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but toot.
And what about you, Nino? What do you think?
I think it definitely, I agree with bro. I think it definitely depends on the individual. And I think it also depends on the relationship as well. The reason why y'all doing what y'all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it in different situations, different parts. Sometimes you just trying to get it over with. Sometimes trying to get it over
Agreed.
with? I'm just saying though. I know that we've all been in situations where it was just like,
let's wrap this up now.
I'm trying to end this.
So on the real. But to answer your question, I think it definitely depends.
How was that situation? Like, why would you want to try to end it?
I mean, either you stop or you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta get it over with. I mean, that's just how
get it over with.
Sometimes
we definitely communicate.
Sometimes you want to end it because it might not be what you thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? You might step into something where you thought it was finna be, and it ain't really.
Do you think men communicate about their sexuality? Like, for instance, when you get girls together and we have a girls' night, you can best believe we're gonna have some type of conversation.
Or you in a car ride,
or you in a car ride up to Vegas. You better
believe me. I'm like,
you better believe. Do you think guys do the same thing? Like when you're with your boys,
it's different because I feel like as men, like we just keep our sex life kind of like to ourselves,
private.
You know what I mean? We just don't talk about it a lot. So
I think
is that healthy though?
I think in a sense we do. Okay. But it might not be in the way that you guys do.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes out and, it might come out in an experience or something that we just had going on or something. You know what I mean?
So you guys have like a bro code of the way you talk about
it.
Where we're very relational. We're putting all the business out there. And guys are kind of
You guys are much more sensitive and you guys talk about your feelings a lot more.
Okay. And you guys are actually talking about the act itself.
Right.
Oh, see, that's why men and female are different.
Exactly. He was like, yes, like that is the act. So have you had a threesome?
I've had.
You really stuttering? Like, are you okay?
I've had 3 at one time, so that's why a threesome. I've had 3 chicks.
Foursome.
A foursome. Yeah.
Oh my!
Wow. How did you handle
It was wild.
that?
It was wild. I didn't really handle it. They did. You know what I mean? They did. It was wild.
You know, right now, many
I just
guys
never
are
been in
giving you
that
high
situation,
fives.
so it was just like. But I took it and I went with it. I had fun. So.
Nino?
I've been in a couple situations.
All of a sudden he's turning red.
I know.
I've been in that situation too. I've been in a
All of a
situation
sudden he got really red.
Right.
Exactly.
But, I've had a threesome. So.
Okay, I have a question. So how do you feel men deal with it when, for instance, maybe they have a higher sex drive than their partner, or they're like mismatched? Like, how do men handle that? I know how women handle that. Yeah. How do men handle that?
See, I think that goes back to me. I'm very, very about individuals. Okay. It's the because person. I really, really believe that it really is the person. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I myself.
Cats got their tongue.
I know.
We got him speechless over
here. He always got something to say.
We got him speechless.
I'm trying to figure out how to word it so that you, bro, you answer.
And he tapped you in. It's like that tag team. He tapped you in.
Question again. Hold on. Let me get the question. I got you though.
So how do you feel like as far as like when someone is like mismatched, like when say someone's sex drive is higher than yours or yours is higher than theirs, how do men deal with that?
Yeah.
I feel like for me, as an individual, I try and meet whatever her needs are sexually because that's important to keep your woman happy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's my thing. I don't know about every other man, but for me,
that's what you do. And happy woman, happy life.
Right.
Yeah.
Period. As long as she's happy, we're gonna be
right.
good.
I'm a firm believer in that too. Happy woman, happy life. But
smart.
Look, if we mismatched and we ain't trying to fix that, look, we gotta find some kind of alternative because not even just as a man, even as a woman, like I know even women who have gotten frustrated to that point where it's like I even care about you so much, but it's like I ain't being satisfied here.
Right. Yeah, I gotta go or go see.
How do men express that? I guess that's a good question. Yeah. How do men express that?
I think that's something that not enough men express, and I think that's why we have men just like, man, if you can't, you ain't meeting it.
I'm gonna go find someone who does meet it.
But sometimes it might be because that's not the only reason why men. Yeah, right.
Break it down for us. He's about to school us.
I know.
He's like, let me take a drink of this first.
He said, wait.
And not to change the subject from sex to cheating, but that's part of the reason why, like, it might not be that I'm not appreciating everything that you do or everything that you got going on. It just might be that it's something missing that you're not really putting forth the effort to fix. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I care about you in all these other ways and I want to be with you, but it's like
it still goes hand in hand.
Yeah, you know, like where does the compromise come for you? Mm-hmm. Where you like, hey man, well he need a little bit more something, you know?
Step up your game a little bit.
Right, you feel me? Jump that thing. But I think that men try to communicate more with the act. Like we try to just try something new one day, you know what I mean? And try to just try something new and see how it goes, you know what I mean? Yeah. On the real.
And he did not do it right. It's not gonna work.
But everybody ain't doing it.
You dealing with it. For sure. Or you might just be one of the bitter ones.
Oh!
It might not always be bitter. No, I'm not. I said might.
Really?
I said might. Maybe.
He threw it in the air.
No. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that.
He's saying there's a category.
Okay.
Look, I'm just saying, look.
He gonna get his butt beat
because we all know about those people who, after a relationship,
have jaded.
Yeah, they feel some type of way, so they like, oh yeah, and he was whack anyways, and he was boo anyway. When really every single time he was in there, you know, he was telling them all the good things, you know. So it's
Kristy,
like, you know,
after the car ride yesterday, y'all, you guys were drilling me. Am I bitter about that? No.
I think you have a very empowered way of thinking about it, and it's not even about being bitter. It's just about knowing yourself so well.
Exactly.
Yeah, and knowing what you can tolerate and what you can't.
I just believe that you.
And sex is something that you're very firm on.
Wow. Yeah. I said might.
Time out.
I said
we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, we are, because it's getting heated in here again. Las Vegas episode season 3.
You didn't say Mike though.
I said Mike.
Be back.
We'll be back.
Mars and Venus in the house.
Brandee and
hey, you didn't watch the first segment. Rewind. Because you don't
about that no
know.
more.
Brand, all I can say, you know what they say, if the shoe doesn't fit,
I
pass
know.
it on.
I just like to give him a hard time.
Pass it
It's
on.
fun.
It's all fun in Vegas. We're having an amazing time. Again, this is our season 3 sex episode. So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do men feel when they are connected to women who are sexually empowered in themselves? Is it a threat for men? Is it something that they find as a turn on? Is it
Or turn off?
Or turn off? Exactly. Like, what is? Let's start with, I guess, Andrew. Like, what do you feel, Andrew?
That's a turn on for me.
Okay.
I
mean, anybody that's confident in any way and it's not overdone is a turn on.
Okay.
I just like that.
So,
I like you
confident,
believing in
not
yourself.
cocky.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
If you believe in yourself, that's a good thing, man. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be taken as a negative. And shit, I'm confident too. So, you know, I'm going to roll with that.
It's Capricorns. What we
Right.
doing?
You know what's up.
Capricorn.
What about you,
I
Nino?
knew she would know.
It's definitely a plus for me as well. Like I love a woman who really knows what she wants, who's gonna come get what she wants. You know what I mean? Like, but isn't too overly
Aggressive?
Yeah, like
What's too aggressive?
Not wait. See, I like aggression.
Okay.
I like a woman who's
He like,
gonna
nah,
come
that's
get
not
what
the
she
right
wants.
word.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, that ain't the right way.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
want. You know what I mean? But like just
Overly dominating.
No. I'm just talking about like verbally.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay.
Like I'm with more of the
Action.
the action side.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Right.
So do you think
Because it leaves a little bit of mystery to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like
it's intriguing.
I wonder
Yeah.
how you know what I mean? And then it's
Instead of putting
you
it
know,
all
what you-
out there.
Right.
is it a turn off, or will you stop dealing with someone who would not go down on you?
Oh, no, that's like my favorite thing. So, like, I'm going to be real. You got to go down. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ghost. Pew.
And that's where I feel we different. That's where we separate.
The bro code separates.
Me,
I mean,
and
I
that's why it's on
definitely
an
like
individual
both, but-
basis. That's why it's on an individual basis
Yeah.
because me,
What's your feeling on that?
I'm very picky. Like if you get it wrong the first time, I get so turned
I'll
off
tap
that I
you
don't
out.
even want. I'm serious. Like I count you out.
Baby, we good.
So to keep myself from going there with you, if I definitely decide to take it there with you, then it's like I'll avoid it. We could just keep it
Right.
basic. Let's have sex. Let's do our thing. You know what I mean? Because
said
I don't
keep
want
it
you to
basic.
blow this.
Right.
I don't want you to blow it. You know what I mean?
Period.
I don't want to
On
see
the
that you
real.
can't
I
make
don't
it
want
to
you
the
to
next
blow it.
step.
Right. I don't want you to blow
I don't want to be
it.
disappointed.
Well,
Right.
do you guys go down on girls?
I definitely do. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I believe in pleasing whoever you
Right.
with
I'm
in
with
every
that.
way.
I'm
You
with
know what I
that.
mean?
I'm
So
gonna please her as well.
I definitely believe in that. You know what I mean?
Is there
Yeah, I go
anything
down.
like as men that you guys are like not gonna happen?
I ain't going near nobody's ass.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real.
You asked the
To
question.
each his own. I don't judge nobody or nothing. To each his own. You know what I mean?
Whatever
But it's just
floats
not
your
my
boat.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just ain't for me.
Right.
You know?
Whatever floats
For
your
what?
boat.
You know what I mean?
As far as me, I believe if you in a relationship with somebody and you guys are in love, man,
Just do whatever.
except for anything near my ass. You feel me? You feel me?
Right. I agree.
Look,
I
anything
agree.
near mine, we gonna have a problem. We gonna, yeah, that's it.
There we go.
Other than that, you know what I
So
mean?
you guys like to be tied up and role play?
Whatever she want
I
to
think,
try.
I
as
think
far as
definitely
that,
you should be open
because
to it. Yeah.
this is how I feel, right? That is always going to keep the relationship interesting.
Yeah.
When you're
Right.
doing different things, you know what I
Right.
mean? You want to have fun. So
Right.
Do you
I
think,
agree with it. Just don't bring me
Go
into a different dungeon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somewhere
No
I don't want to
50
be.
Shades of Grey.
I
Yeah.
ain't with too
That's a
much.
great
That's it.
movie.
Do you
though.
think men have a harder time being romantic? It's one thing to be sexual, it's another thing to be romantic. Do you think men struggle to be romantic? Yeah, anyone can have sex. Yeah, anyone can be, in touch sexually.
You
But
have
Let me
Raise
get
your
this one
hand.
first.
Right,
bro.
but
Let me get this one first.
Yes,
I had to do it on this one. Like, hold
on.
on. This the one I'm answering. Nah, go ahead.
Right. Now, look, I definitely think that men struggle, but I think that it's because of the generation. Like, there isn't enough romance. Like, growing up, we seen a lot of romance. It was in movies. It was in music. It was in the. It was
that old
It was
school.
It was out
there.
there. Here nowadays, everything is so blatant and so over. That's why it's like, man,
Everything
hey,
is
is we finna go have sex or not? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, how you name? What's your name?
Oh,
All right,
he sent me
yeah, is we
key
having sex or
emoji.
no? No, okay, right. How your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
Is we having sex or no? No, you ain't with it either. Who else is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why it's just
It's
everything is.
oversaturated.
Yeah.
Everything is and it's kind of something that was accepted by everyone, not just by men, not just by women. It just
ain't accepted
it's
by me.
Excuse me, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like the
It's
masses,
general.
in general.
Yeah.
It's just
In
something
general.
that just became
social norm.
accepted. Yeah, the
agree
social
with
norm.
that.
So you know, that's just kind of. You know.
Would you wait for someone that tells you no? I'm waiting. Like I'm not.
I would.
Married?
I would, because I believe if you saying no and you doing that, then you know what I mean, other things are more important than sex to you. You as far as career, whatever it is, you know what I mean. You want to get that right first.
So you're willing to wait for the right one?
Yeah, definitely. Nice. But you know what I mean, it's a lot of wrong ones, so you know I'm gonna have fun.
Oh wow! No, he did not.
I'm just saying, but
like good tell. Wow.
But if you are the right one, though, you gonna get all the perks and benefits.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna wait, whatever. We gonna do it all together, everything. You
So
know
would
what
you have a threesome with another guy and a girl?
No. Well, nah. I don't know. It just
No.
right.
That sounds like a 50 Shades of Grey.
Here's the thing.
That
though.
sounds some gray.
I just feel like
It's not
the
black and white. It's
intimacy
gray.
is with a man and a woman. So it's like if she wants another woman, cool. But like that's just. I don't
Well,
know.
why would you not be okay with her having another man, but a woman you'd be okay? That's a double standard then.
Because I think we've been.
Nino's like,
that
I'm
way
gonna lay
though,
back
too.
on this one.
I think we've been kind of bred that way to believe that it's okay for a woman and a woman, and that's just weird.
But
for
does
a
it make
man
it
to
right? Does it make it right that we've been taught that way
Yeah.
and there's been a double standard, but we're not in 2017?
I just think when a man comes into the equation, if it's you and a woman, cool, bring a woman. But with a man, I just think it's a different dynamic. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just different.
Nino, what do you think?
I want to rewind back to. Let's go.
He said, let's rewind.
Let's go back to the first question.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really think you have to be an extremely, extremely dope person for me to be waiting for you to get married. Because it's like I think that it really all depends on like if we having these conversations anyways, like you have to have shown me that you are really the person for me. You know, I'm good because I'm gonna be real with myself, and I'm not gonna cheat nobody that I feel like I'm gonna go there with. So I'm not gonna play with you either.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
gonna
if
sell yourself short.
Right. And I'm not going to sell you short where you got to deal with me going out and getting something else from somewhere else or doing something else.
Like, why
So-
even go there? If I already know
Yeah,
it's gonna
so
go
it's
there,
like-
Let's not even go through all that.
That's kind of like, for me, a double-edged sword is kind of like, you have to really, really be the person. Like, the person. And I have to have experienced certain things, like, already, you know, so that we don't have to have these things come up later on. And I'm like, I wonder, because
We
me,
should have had this
I'm a go,
A no doubt type of
sometimes-
thing.
Right. You
Right.
know, I want it to be, exactly. I want it to be a no doubt type of thing. Like, for sure, okay, bam.
We're already here.
Then I could lock with you. And me, I'm a mental person anyways. So if I'm sitting down having these kind of conversations with you, it's already you
The
already
flow's
got
already there.
something
Yeah,
going
the
for you.
energy's already
Exactly.
Do you think
Exactly.
men cheat just to cheat and women cheat for a reason?
Yeah,
You do?
I do. Definitely.
What's your breakdown on that?
You answered that like
Yeah, it was like
Because
a
it's
me right
real.
now.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna be real honest with you, and this is just my opinion. I don't know about everybody else, but
Nino's
I
like, I gotta go to this side of the room.
separated
I
and
just
everything.
believe women when they talk to a guy or something, it's like they are very interested. You know what I mean? If you're breaking down those walls, and a lot of times, us men, we do a lot of shit just to see if we still got it, or you know what I mean.
To
So
prove it to yourself.
right, it's not even a thing. And then when we do a lot of those situations, we be like, damn, why the fuck did I do that? You know what I mean? So in all actuality, men do think like that. Like, man, whatever.
So 'cause you
it's not a big
handle-
deal.
Yeah.
You know, and women are much more intuitive with their thinking, and they bring
could
their
you
feelings
handle,
out,
like,
man.
your girl
sensitive. You
cheating
guys
on
are more
you?
sensitive than we
Yeah.
are.
Can you
in
handle
certain
your girl
aspects.
cheating on you after you cheated on? Like, you cheated on her first, she found out, and then
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Because I cheated. So, I mean,
Right.
we live in a world where it's karma. So if
Yeah.
you do it, you know it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But if y'all still got that connection and that vibe, it's gonna work.
Do you think that as far as like when it comes to sex in general, is there anything that you think women need to know that men don't tell them? Like, is there anything that comes to your mind that you wish women knew? Like, this is what guys think about when it comes to
This or
sex.
something.
Like, this is something we feel strongly about. And they
That's
go
a hard
quiet.
question.
Crickets.
The way you see this.
He's like, how many?
he's like, we
is
really
there?
got to think right now after a couple drinks of Henny.
Right.
I Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I think
Tap him in,
definitely.
tap him in.
I think definitely, like, I think a lot of people are still stuck in the notion that you have to come into a relationship like being the I've never, and I think to me, and I'm just speaking on myself, it's more not really attractive, but it's just better for me if I know what's up with you already. Like, don't lie to me and tell me, I never did this before, and then now we getting cracking and you a pro. I'm like, I never, come on, I already know what's up. Yeah. We're grown, we adults. We're adults, so just keep
communication.
You feel me?
That's
communication, because I want to know what you
That's
like.
what's lacking.
I want to know how to please you. I want to know how to, you know what I mean? Because that's what I take pride in anyways. This whole thing is
communicate, you're gonna be happy.
Right.
Exactly.
Simple as
And
that.
I feel like a lot of people just don't want to.
Male and female do agree one thing: communication is key.
Right.
Regardless of what kind of relationship it is,
right?
In every aspect,
why do you think that is?
Because of technology.
I don't think it's lacking. I don't think it's lacking.
It is.
I think this is what happens. I think that communication is A1 until we get comfortable. As soon as we get comfortable, communication is like, I got you already. We locked in already. So now I could think like, I can just do my thing. And because in the beginning it's like, I can see what you like. Oh, you like picking your nails.
It's the details.
It's the details. I pay attention.
But now
and then I draw you in, and now you're like, this is everything I ever wanted. Now we all comfortable, and it's like, I can put my feet up on this. You know what I mean?
Now I want to.
And that's what happens.
How long does it take for a man to get there where he's like, okay, first it's the representative that you're meeting.
After sex?
And you're like, after sex?
After sex, men are comfortable. Feet up. I hit, man, I'm in there already.
Right.
What else is there to, you know what I mean? Especially if he did his thing.
Right.
Now let me do my thing. Put my feet up fast.
So then the cockiness takes over.
Not really being cocky is just like.
The comfortableness.
I don't know. I think that is just like for men, it's like you. After sex, you feel like you just conquered the world. Like, it's just like
you're invincible.
Especially, and not to say it like that, but especially with somebody new. It's like a drug. It's like this is a whole new person. This is a different, and I think that's why some men cheat.
And
I think that's why some men cheat on the real, because it's like
whether it's
you
good
look
or
at them in
bad,
a whole different.
You feel different about a person after you have sex with them.
It's a different perspective, definitely.
See, we're learning a lot. But again, I think that's what's healthy is healthy discussions. Because again, whatever relationship you choose to be in, you have to be able to communicate those things to the other person.
And not be afraid to. And just be open about it. And if that person can't receive it, then that's like you don't need to deal with that person.
Talk about it. You know,
like remove your ego and just listen to what that person's saying.
Yeah, because sex is a big thing. It's really important in a relationship. And a lot of people, they don't talk about that. I think that's like,
if you have to do like an equation,
70% of a relationship, because that energy is so important.
Yeah.
It goes to so many different levels. Like when you have sex, you could be mad and now you're happy. And everything just feels good. Now you can have now that conversation you had, you forgot about, and let's talk about something good.
Exactly.
Now. Like it's so that
it's a
energy,
balancing.
right? And it can save your relationship in so many different ways.
Right, I agree.
It's so powerful.
It can, man.
Save the relationship.
See, the world would be a better place if people just had more sex.
Right.
Good sex.
Yeah.
More good,
Good sex.
Good sex. Not just sex.
Good sex.
Good, great sex.
Connected. Like good energy.
Really, even just more so just taking the time to really figure out what your partner is about and what they like. And
knowing
just taking the time and knowing
about it.
Right. And not overdoing it and knowing when to, you know what I mean, and when to make the situation special and make it meaningful, because those moments are needed as well.
So guys like that too then. So you guys are putting it out there. Guys like romance too.
For sure.
But
it's like
strawberries and whipped cream.
It's definitely occasional though. It's definitely occasional.
Right, because women feel like they should always get that, but every woman, it's not for every woman, for you, for certain, like him, if he was to have a relationship with you, right? It might not be for him to do those special things if you guys are just having a sexual relationship or this and that. When it's important and you're really having a real relationship and you're trying to move to the next level and those type of things, you're going to do all that.
But with women, it's like, if I gave this to you,
like, you better you
better be taking me out. You better be right. Especially if they see you're able to. Especially if they see you have the ability to.
Exactly.
You better be spending time with me. You better be answering when I call. And it's like that obligation comes, and that runs a lot of men off.
I got a question. Why are men so afraid of commitment?
It's not about commitment. it's not about that men are afraid of commitment. I think that's on an individual basis. Definitely, it's on an individual basis.
You can't commit to everybody.
You can't. You
Right.
You cannot commit to everybody.
But
period.
a commitment is hard to do when everything in your life isn't where you want it to be. Because you have to give a lot of time to that commitment. That person is like next to, if you have children or things like that, that's like the most important person in your life.
So it requires a lot from you.
That's for people who are willing to commit, though.
Right. That's what
because
I'm saying.
you have other people who want to commit and they try to commit, but then they realize that there's, like I said, there's something missing, or there's not enough here, or there's not a, because in relationships, sometimes you might not even know that you're not cooperating with me. I might be giving you everything you need to deal with me, and you don't even know that you're not doing this right, and I'm trying to explain it to you, and you still don't even know, like, how to change this or how to fix this, And it might just be that'll be like, I see something over here in her that you don't have. She has all the qualities you got, but she
something else
seems to might not have that little bit of something,
I've been there, so I know what you're talking
about.
And then you go over there.
And
then you go over there, and she got everything you didn't like. She got everything you didn't like.
But you know what's fucked up though? Right? When we talk about that one thing, it's fucked up because you could be 97% right, 3%.
Big deal.
Fuck up everything. Why?
It depends
on
women. It depends on what the 3% is.
Women.
That's why.
He sees a women word. That was 3 times.
Because they are very.
It depends on that 3%.
That 3%, they are like petty about.
Right.
They are nagging, petty. Hey,
is that the worst thing?
They remember everything. I hate nagging. Because it's like,
that's one thing my dad said. He hates
okay, say I do something right, and you're upset about it.
Right.
If you're still gonna be with me and you're not gonna be upset about it tomorrow, why are we arguing about this?
Oh, that's the way a guy thinks. Oh.
It's like you're
still
gonna
get over
be
it
with
anyways.
me.
Right.
Yeah.
So why are you gonna not like that? But it's
right.
Why do we have to go through all these different things that are gonna upset you more than it's gonna upset me? And it's like, damn, man, like, let's just go to.
What role do you think social media plays in relationships right now?
It's big, man.
Like,
when you have a girl,
social media plays.
Don't like
social media.
They don't want you liking pictures.
That's the biggest. That's one of the biggest.
Oh, you like that heifer
today in this day.
Okay.
For real.
It's that crazy. That's what I mean by petty, though.
Right.
Like,
in this day and age, if you have social media,
I live a life where it's
a big
like
part of relationship.
my social media gotta be booming along with who I work with.
It's business.
Right, and it's like, I'm going to go on here and do whatever it takes to get to where I need to be so that because social, that's what they look at now.
Yeah.
Hey, his Instagram is this. Hey, his that. So it's like, that has to be on point.
It's part of our culture.
You have to interact with the people.
You have to engage.
But you have to have someone who understands that lifestyle and who can be, if they're not secure within themselves, then they're not going to get it. And it's just, I mean, I get hit on every day on social media. I get proposed to at least once a week. So it's just like, okay, whatever. But it's just like, I got to be with someone who understands that's my lifestyle.
Right. See, we didn't know about, but tell us about these proposals, though. Because you sure skipped right over the proposals once a week, though.
I'm just saying it happens.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, the proposals, though, man.
So what makes a guy say I do?
What
finally makes a guy say I do?
We want a woman to be on our level as far as financially, physically attractive, confidence, just we gotta kind of want the same things as far as like children and things like that, and where we want to live. Some people want to live in the country, you know what I mean, when they have a family. Some people want to live in the city. Some people, so on all those different levels, you have to be connected, because you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. So,
are men intimidated by strong women? Like women who are focused and goal-oriented?
Men who don't have goals and shit. Of course you're going to be, because your woman is going to be bigger than you in life. She's going to be doing more things.
It becomes
and
a
you're going to be the
competition.
guy that's dependent on her. So now it's like, you don't feel like a man.
The role reversal.
Or causing issues.
And that's what's going on a lot.
Is there a problem with that, do you think? The role reversal? Where women now
There's
have
not a problem with that.
Okay.
But there is, right? Because it's like, it's not a problem if your man is trying and he's trying to be that person too and he fails. But you guys are in love and you guys are still doing that. Nah, definitely be that strong woman and take care of your man that you love, and he's trying too. But if, you know what I mean, if it's he's not trying, of course, nah.
The balance is off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's all about balance.
Right.
Man,
Definitely.
we learned some stuff today about the guy's perspective.
That's what you're supposed to
Oh my! But again, that's why we wanted to have this episode.
Well, that's why we have all of our episodes, is to educate people and bring on people that everyone could relate to,
and have the conversations that no one's having
because,
in an open forum.
Yeah,
you know, not in a way that feels like it's, you know, it's raw, it's unscripted, it's real. So it's from the heart.
Yeah,
you're not getting scripted answers. So man, season 3 is heating up, Vegas style.
I think we gotta go shoot in Atlanta.
Atlanta, we're coming for you.
That would be dope.
Yeah. So we do 2 cities. Your wife already said, she'll come. It was Atlanta.
That's half the battle.
Gotta get the approval. You're not going nowhere.
That's half the battle.
But we want to thank you guys for coming on the show.
for being brave enough to come.
I mean,
yeah,
they deal with me every day, so that's brave enough, I think. He said, right.
It's a good thing, though.
Is there any piece of advice you guys would give to guys out there? Like, just in general,
just
when
be
it comes
yourself.
to their relationships?
When you in a relationship, be yourself, be confident, enjoy your woman, be strong in what you believe in. You know what I mean? Play that man role.
I think definitely the biggest piece of advice that I could have, and I've heard this from so many women so far, just like he was just saying, really be yourself. Because 3 months down the line, when they find out you ain't who you thought you were,
when your representative,
you lied about your car.
It's like why go through that?
Why?
I think that a woman, is really more pays attention to you more and will be more on your side if you just gave her everything from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
no
look, this
surprises.
is what's going on. Boom, boom,
Just
boom,
be
boom.
yourself.
Yeah, and let's progress from here, because eventually down the line we're gonna drop. As soon as you quit pretending, we're gonna drop. We're gonna fall back, no matter how far we get.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of people don't want to do that. They gotta.
In any relationship, just be yourself. Because if not, it's going to
yourself.
catch up with you, because you can only pretend for so long.
Whatever it is.
So
whoever
I ain't
you
got
are,
time for it, because we got things to do. But
life
we want
is too short.
Thank you guys, and make sure you follow us on.
We want to thank y'all too.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Instagram, Facebook. We have our music.
Where can we find them?
Definitely, you can find
Everywhere.
me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. We'll start at Nino Califonya. That's Nino Califonya on the real. You can follow me on all social media platforms.
How about you, Andrew?
You can find me on Instagram at Drew Hefner 100.
And his Instagram be cracking me. It's hilarious.
And you can get the Facebook and all that straight from my Instagram.
Yeah.
So we thank you again for tuning into the Vegas episode. It's been
amazing.
Season
3, and you'll see us. You know, we have our couple signature events coming up this year.
That's right.
And then we'll be in Atlanta, and then we have other great things.
So join the movement, because it's not about just a season, it's a movement.
And you guys thought we were done with season 1. Oh, sorry, haters.
Season 3, buckle your seatbelts, because we're just getting started, and I'm telling you, this season is fire. So with that said,
bye.
Love you guys.
California.
Shave it off. If it's going,
just let it go. Just say bye.
Just wish it well. It's from your ear back. You need to let it go. All the way go. You gotta let it go. Like, man, he got hands. People like, he got hands. He in the mirror, even though he can't see, he like how I look. They like, yeah, you look good. They're like, yep.
Good.
Woo! Whoa! And down, Brandee, boy. I'm trying not to look at Portia. You like that Portia leg?
I felt like Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj.
Right. I was like,
Look at Annie trying to be all in control and shit.
I was the same as her, so.
He trying to run things down. Let me stop.
Unless you want to keep the AC on.
Give us the countdown. No, we're good.
See.
Right.
this year he's up
That shit ain't got
5 years.
It's different. It's different.
Was he in Vegas?
Yeah, he's in Vegas. All that shit went on in Vegas.
Remember, he stole the memorabilia.
What was the hotel? Was it this hotel?
No.
Nah, I don't know. It was somewhere close.
It was the Palace Station.
Correct? I think I'm going to say.